What's up, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope you guys are doing well out there on this beautiful Monday. I'm doing well myself, and I hope you had a very nice, relaxing weekend. You know what I always say about that? They just go too fast, you understand? Well, shout out to the sister queen. I know who I am for hipping me to this particular story right here. It's a damn shame, of course. You got this subhuman to your left, Natalie Hardison, who has been arrested for the death of this young fella right here. I think he's 8 years old, if I'm not mistaken. His name is Noah Bush. It appears that he wandered into a site that wasn't supposed to be, and they seen him there in some kind of way. They pushed him in some water and drowned him. And when I say they, it's actually this subhuman. She was accompanied by a 10 and 11-year-old boy, boys, and what have you. But we don't have any images of them. And I wonder why. Because as far as I'm concerned, they are just as guilty as the sub right here for doing what they did to this young fella right here. And of course, we see his image, But without further ado, let's get into this story. It comes out of the Atlantic Black Star. Needs to be further investigation. Family attorney says relatives of white 11-year-old who allegedly drowned missing Georgia boy, black boy, helped with search while knowingly he was already dead. Okay? This is what this particular article says. It goes on to say here, deputies charged a woman with lying to police during the death investigation of a young black boy in southeast Georgia after her son was accused of pushing and killing the child. Okay, authorities in Jessup, Georgia started investigating Noah Bush's death in May after he disappeared from his home. It took less than a day for investigators to locate the 8-year-old boy's body in a construction burrow pit filled with water. Okay, so basically, from what I can ascertain from this as of now, is that this woman basically covered up evidence for something that her 10 and 11-year-old sons did, or something like that. But let's continue here. It says here, lawyers demand charges for adult involved in protecting, 10 and 11-year-olds in the death of an 8-year-old Noah Bush in South Georgia town. Okay, and I don't know what's going on with these kids these days, because I come across another story where I think she was 12 years old and her cousin was 8 years old, and they had a little discrepancy about a cell phone, and the 12-year-old waited till the 8-year-old girl went to sleep and smothered her to death with a pillow. Okay, so it's some straight up wickedness going on in this day and age, even with the kids. But let's continue here. It says they initially ruled his death as accidental, believing he wandered into the pit. Bush's family wasn't wholly convinced by their findings and hired a private investigator. They also called for the Georgia Bureau of Investigations, GBI, to look into the 8-year-old's death. Okay, what a shame. And the mother, instead of her taking her kids, to law enforcement, she gonna try to cover up for what they did. So she's more than guilty as far as I'm concerned. She's the adult. Okay, it goes on to say here, weeks later, a medical examiner's autopsy report revealed that Bush died by homicide, leading to the arrest of 2 children, both 10 and 11. Authorities charged the 11-year-old child with involuntary manslaughter, battery, concealing the death of another, and criminal trespass. They alleged that he pushed Noah into the pit. Okay, the 10-year-old was charged with concealing the death of another and criminal trespass. Law enforcement also arrested the mother of the 11-year-old boy, Natalie Hardison, and charged her with giving false statements to police, a felony. The 35-year-old Hardison also faces a probation violation and another charge of mandatory education for children between ages 6 and 16, a statute that holds parents responsible for enrolling their children in public or private schools or homeschool programs. Attorneys for Bush's family previously called for charges against the adult connected to the alleged juvenile offenders, stating that they lied and helped conceal and obstruct the investigation. Bush's family attorney Mawali Davis told Atlanta Black Star that Hardison's arrest is another step toward justice for the family and for the community that has been organizing and demanding justice for Noah. What we know is that one of the children pushed Noah into the water, went the water behind Noah. That's what that says. Held Noah's head in the water for some period of time, got out of the water, and Noah did not get out of the water. Okay? Davis stated. And so we always believe that a child that comes home soaking wet is going to give some explanation to an adult, and that adult would have known that Noah Bush was in a watery grave. The fact that this juvenile's mother is charged with lying to police during the course of the investigation only undergirds the family's suspicion of her involvement. And I agree with that. And the thing is this. What was in that the white child nature to even do that to that young black boy? Why would they do that? You know what I'm saying? What kind of home do you come from? What are you being taught? You understand? Racism, I can guarantee you. You see what I'm saying? That's just what it is. It's a damn shame. The mother didn't make it no better concealing, the crime. To continue, the Wayne County Sheriff's Office stated that more charges are possible. Davis believes another adult in the 11-year-old's home might have also played a role in the attempted cover-up. There's another adult who was in that household that participated in a search for Noah. Davis said, "We're concerned that effort was not at all genuine, and that he may have known for Noah's demise." Okay, there needs to be further investigations into his actions. In a release, Davis revealed that a lead detective testified about a video showing the 11-year-old boy beating a black child who is not Bush and repeatedly calling him the N-word during an incident before Bush's death. Okay, so he was taught this. He comes from a home that teaches this kind of behavior, And this is another reason why the kid's face should be out here. He did a crime. He took another child's life. Their faces should be shown. You see, but of course they're going to protect them, okay? To continue here, I'm certain that detectives are investigating whether or not there was any racial animus that led to these juveniles being involved in Noah's death. Davis stated, "The video is something that raises concerns when it's unclear why a 10-year-old and 11-year-old would be involved in the death of a child. With both kids, both being white, and Noah being a black child, we have to examine. We are duty bound to see if race played a role." Well, you know something? Y'all don't make good detectives. You know what I'm saying? Because just what I've read as it is, and you already caught him beating on another black child, calling him the N-word. I'm sure race had everything to do with it. And it's how he was taught as well. Okay? Let's continue. Davis also expressed serious concerns about the property where Noah was killed, calling out some security concerns. Okay? It's real murky Just a terrible looking place, tell you the truth. There's no place for anybody to be just hanging around. In conclusion, it says here though, people would go out there regularly. There were open entry points, very few criminal trespass signs. So we're definitely concerned that the county should have been far more concerned with maintaining a potentially dangerous place, Davis explained. Davis and his team are looking into civil actions against the county in the aftermath of Bush's death. No injunctions have been filed at this time. Okay, well, one thing's for sure. Those two kids, a 10 and 11-year-old, they are murderers. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. And this one right here, the sub that's next to him, she's a co-conspirator. And that's just all there is to it. She wanted to protect her child for what he did. He did something very heinous. You see what I'm saying? And he had to be taught this kind of behavior. He had to be taught to hate. And as for the injunctions about the place, we got no trespassing, hunting, or fishing. Violators prosecuted under penalty of law. So there is a sign right here at the gate. But of course, kids are going to know. They're going to pretty much ignore this anyway, and so will a lot of adults. But one thing that shouldn't have happened was that this young 8-year-old fella's life shouldn't have been taken. And that's just what it is. So, as far as I'm concerned, the mother and those two kids and whoever else was involved in covering up, the book needs to be thrown at them for this right here. And shout out to the family for not just taking, the initial words of law enforcement after investigation saying that they didn't find, that any probable cause to say that it was a homicide when in fact it was. So shout out to the family for, to keep pushing. And that's just what it is. My condolences to you just as well, though, because, it's bad enough losing somebody, but then under circumstances like this, I'm sure it's that much more worse, May the Most High bless you with strength to endure this. That's all I got on this one. People, I want you guys to tell me what you think about this particular story right here. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on it in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe. People, please remember to live your life as though we're being watched. Simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.